right. Just try again. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back into Exit 99 Sports. As always, my name is Caleb Deloach. And we've had a lot of action this past week. We're going to have some storms here early this week that are going to probably mess up some of our schedules, things like that. You know, this time of year, you got to deal with the rain, things like that a little bit. So we're dealing with that right now as I speak. But I've had a lot of fun, baseball being played around the area. We've had some more impressive performances. Golf had some big moments. Out on the track, there's been a couple of really, really impressive new PRs, things like that as well. Some tennis is rolling. We're winding down a few different sports, so we'll get into that here a little bit as well. But, yeah, we are, day of recording, April 27th, so we're at the end of April now. By the time you're watching this, we are getting into May. That means we're closing in on the end of the school year, which means we're closing in on the end of spring sports season, unfortunately. So, looking ahead, I will keep, rolling with, the weekly shows, updating, talking about all that stuff. We're getting, like I said, as we get closer to the postseason, we'll start doing some postseason, what to expect and things like that. We're going to be, it's going to be good. We're going to look ahead to the postseason. We'll go through the postseason. And I'll start doing some other fun stuff after that. Don't plan on taking any big breaks. I might, depending on schedule, things like that. When you get in the summertime, vacation stuff kind of happens. But outside of that, I'm going to do probably some interviews and things to look forward to with that. So we'll get started, jump right in, and talk about last week. Last week, we'll start Monday, April 20th. It gave us a little bit of surprising outcome. So Jackson plays Marion, Illinois. They get beat 8-6 early in the ball game. They gave up 7 runs in the third inning. Keegan Bregman played well in the ball game. He had 3 RBIs, but it was a Marion team that, off the top of my head, I know Notre Dame smoked a couple weeks ago. So, Jackson beat Notre Dame. You transited property. You think, hey, Jackson's going to comfortably win. Baseball's a weird sport. Anything can happen. People can get hot. People can not find the strike zone, whatever it might be, yada, yada. And, yeah, Jackson got beat by Marion. So a surprising outcome to a lot of people, but the way it goes, unfortunately. However, up north, Cape Central had a really cool opportunity. They got to play now I'm blanking where they played at. But they've got to play in a semi-pro stadium, I believe. Up north, they took on the St. Louis Patriots. They won 5-3. So a nice win there by the Tigers. The Tigers are rolling right now a little bit. Zaid Hickey in that. He went 2 for 4, 2 RBIs, kind of lead the way for the Tigers. Following day, Tuesday the 21st, Notre Dame had a big win over St. Pius. Chase Lawson, really big ball game. He went 2 for 3, 4 RBIs. And Sam Gata had a 3 RBI or 3-run double as well. He was only hit at the ball game, but drove in 3 runs there. The bases were loaded. So shout out to those guys. Big win, 11-6. It's an up and down story. We'll get to it a little bit for the Bulldogs right now, but they've had some high highs, I would say. Saxony, that's a team that's also playing really well right now. Maybe in some instances the competition is better than other times, but they got a big lopsided victory over Oran, a team that pretty proud program-wise. They're always very solid throughout the years. They win 10-4. Cole Roth, the big man on campus there, he goes 2 for 3, had 4 RBIs in the game. Then we had a completely opposite game. Saxony, you look at every Saxony game and it feels like 2010s Big 12 offensive outputs, basically. They're putting up tons of runs. And Cape Central, they lose a 1-0 pitcher's duel to Sykeston. Another one, a little bit of a surprising outcome. Sykeston, they've had really high highs, but for a long time, it's just been consistently pretty good over there in Sykeston. But on the wrong side here were the Tigers, and they were held to 3 hits, and of course they rolled out Chapman Ogles. Chapman goes 7 innings. He only gives up 4 hits, 2 walks. He struck out 14 batters. Didn't matter. No run support. I feel like, not to slam on anybody else, but man, like that kid, unbelievable pitching. he just shuts down people whenever he's out there. But it feels like whenever he is out there, the run support just evaporates. Like these other games, they're putting up numbers. I mean, they scored 5 against the St. Louis Patriots team. I'm about to tell you some more really, really big outcomes they had. Chapman Ogles goes out there. They're like, oh, we don't need to score very much. He's going to give up 0, 1, maybe 2 runs. The offense just disappears. And so Chapman had a great game, complete game, 14 Ks, but the 1 run he did give up cost him the game. Following that, Wednesday, April 22nd, Notre Dame took on Kennett, SEMO Conference matchup. They win that 13-5. Another big win. They're playing well, at this point of the week, and they knock off a solid Kennett team. I think Kennett's hovering around 500 right now, and also that is a district win. So to my knowledge now, I know they beat Dexter, now they beat Kennett. So Notre Dame 13-10 as of right now at the time of recording. They're very, very much in the driver's seat to be the 1 seed there in that district. So something to look forward to here in the near future. But overall, good win. Like I said, TJ Bolin went 3 for 5 in the ballgame. He had 3 RBIs. So a nice win there. Back to Saxony. They take on Oak Ridge. Expected outcome, but they do win 13-1. James Hope on the mound. I'll give the big shout out to there. He goes 6 innings, only gives up 3 hits, 3 walks, strikes out 7, shut down the Oak Ridge offense, and gets contributions up and down the lineup. That's something pretty consistent with the Saxony team. That's what the one thing I really enjoy about them is there's not there are individuals that are, maybe considered whatever better than the others, but it's usually a lot of guys contributing night in and night out. They'll get 12 hits, and it's just like 1, 2, 2, 1, 3, 1, 1, 2. And so it's very, very cool to see what they're doing night in and night out. They're playing really, really well. So I'm excited to kind of see what they can do here. I mean, I know they got blown out by another, I believe, Class 3 team in Scott City, 9-2. That was a game that was really, really competitive for, I don't want to moral victories here, but it was even, if I remember, 2-2, I think, through 5 innings, and then Scott City had a huge inning and blew them out. But this is a Saxony team that can be really, really competitive with just about anybody, and they are of course, in the same district as Scott City. So regardless where they are, they'll probably end up being the 2 seed there and meet with Scott City in the championship. But, just something to watch for. It's baseball. Anybody can get hot, and they have the ability to get as hot as anybody because these scores they've been putting up are astronomical. I mean, I'll just skip ahead to the next day. They come out, they take on Bell City, win that 15-0. So, I mean, they're just absolutely rolling on people. Eli Radiman had a 1-hitter in the ball game, and this is what I'm talking about. I wrote down here about that game. They put up 15 runs, right? Like I said, you expect to see whoever, like a Zach Ross or somebody puts up 4 RBIs. No, they had 9 different players recorded an RBI in the ball game. I don't think anybody had more than 2. So it's very much the sum of the parts over there at Saxony. So shout out to them. And 12-2 right now, like I said, at time of recording. So they're playing really, really well. This is a really good year for the Crusaders. There are 2 losses. Like I said, Scott City, they lost 9-2, and they lost by 1 at Valley on, I believe, a walk-off. I think they were up by 1 going into the bottom of the 7th. Valley at 2 RBIs. So tough break there, but overall, a very, very strong start to the year. Or not even start anymore. It's almost very strong 2/3 of the season thus far for the Crusaders. So hopefully they can keep it rolling. Speaking of keeping it rolling, where are we at? Oh, yeah, that same. So Thursday, I mentioned Saxony blows out Bell City. We have 2 big rivalry games. Say Jackson first. They took on Poplar Bluff. Always 2 of the best teams in the SEMO Conference for a lot of years. It was pretty much a scheduled appointment between, they played once in the regular season. They pretty much always played each other in the conference tournament championship game for several years recently. And then they'd be playing again, usually in the district championship game a month later. So big-time rivalry. These 2 teams, they see each other all the time. They've played against each other forever. And Jackson won that 8-5. Started out all Poplar Bluff in the very, very beginning. They scored 3 runs in the top of the first, but Jackson answered with 6 runs of their own in the bottom of the first inning, and thanks in large part to Adler Flynn, starting shortstop, 2-hole hitter. He had a 2 RBI home run, a 2-run home run, and went 2 for 3 total in the ballgame. So, yeah, that big bottom of the first is where they got it done because, they held Poplar Bluff to 5 total runs. So, a nice win, a big rivalry win. I think Poplar Bluff had gotten into the Class 5 state rankings just previous week. So, very good win, big-time rivalry win, and going to be important when the SEMO Conference Tournament seeds come out. I'm telling you right now, as of recording, they've not come out, but I can tell you just what the current standings are in the SEMO Conference for baseball. Just one moment. So at the top is Jackson. They are undefeated. They do have a game this week we'll talk about in here in a minute. They play Kennett Tuesday. And then second, so, okay, well, this is, you guys know how that game is, or you don't, because it probably it's getting postponed because of weather. Anyway, so tied at second place, Poplar Bluff, Cape Central. They're both 4-2 in the conference. They're playing each other. Saxony and Notre Dame are tied for third at 500 each, and then Dexter is 2-5, Kelly is 2-5, and Kennett 1-5 sits at the bottom of the conference. So we're under the assumption pretty much Jackson is going to be the 1 seed, and yeah, more than likely they'll see a Bluff, Cape Central, maybe Notre Dame, maybe Saxton there in the championship game, but yeah, should be exciting. I mean, like I said, there's a good chance we get a rematch of this ball game we just saw against Poplar Bluff. So, yeah, a lot to look forward to, but stay with this past week, keep rolling. There, Cape Central, I mentioned rivalry games. So Cape Central, Notre Dame faced off, and the Tigers come out victorious in this one, thanks to the long ball. The Cape Central Tigers, they hit 2 home runs in the game. They win 4-2, and Zayd Hickey hit a 2-run home run. Jathan Spain hit a solo shot, so 3 runs coming via home run. All they needed was 3. They got the extra insurance run. Notre Dame, 2 runs, but only held to 2 hits in the ballgame. Not great. So, big-time win for the Tigers. Big-time rivalry win, as always. Cape Central, they're pretty dang good. I mean, this senior class especially is very talented. And, you knew that coming into the season. Guys like Jathan Spain, big-time power hitter. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Big-time power hitter, had a homer here. Chapman Ogles, lights out pitching. Guys like Caden Chenoweth, Hickey, Bowers, McNew, a bunch of them. There's probably more I'm leaving out, but the senior class is really, really strong. So it's not a surprise that they're playing well. I mean, 14-8 at time of recording. So they are having a really, really good year this year, and thanks in large part, like I said, to that senior class. Then, that was Thursday this past week. Just skip forward 24 hours. Friday, April 24th, Cape Central, they're hosting a 2-day wood bat tournament. So you get to see a little bit different competition. Played a couple teams from St. Louis, more from suburban St. Louis. Friday, they played Pattonville. Had a blowout win there, 14-5 over Pattonville. And speaking of the senior class, Christian McNew, starting catcher, he goes 3 for 4, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs in the ball game. And Jathan Spain, Caden Chenoweth also chip in 3 hits each as well to power home heavy offensive game, 14 runs. Tigers, they love the wood bats apparently. Also that Friday, we had a pretty surprising outcome. I guess it's surprising. I mean, Kelly beat Notre Dame 5-3. Kelly's a good small school. I mean, they've had a lot of talented kids over the last handful of years. So it's not a big surprise that, they're able to beat a Notre Dame, but just seeing it happen is a little bit surprising. They almost beat Cape early in the year. I think Cape might have won in extra innings even. So it was a good Kelly team. I mean, it's, no shame in losing. I think they beat Notre Dame last year also. Don't quote me on that. But a little bit of surprise, though, just based on the way Notre Dame was playing as of late. But, yeah, Kelly gets the 5-3 win there. That takes us to Saturday. We had a really, really busy Saturday. Cape and Jackson both played 2 games each. I'll talk about Cape Central first. They, like I said, hosting the Wood Bat Tournament. They played St. Pius, a football score. They beat St. Pius 17-7. And I mentioned Jathan Spain. He goes 3 for 3 with a home run, 4 RBIs. Big-time ball game for the big power hitter for the Tigers. And then a complete 180. They beat Clayton 2-0, another pitcher's duel for the Tigers. This time, Zach Dowdy, the man on the mound, he goes 7 innings, only gives up 2 hits, 1 walk, strikes out 3 guys. So, I mean, he's, you did what you got to do, high school baseball. He threw strikes. His defense behind him took care of business. He trusted him to make plays. Only striking out 3 guys in 7 innings, so induced a lot of softly hit balls for the defense behind him, and got out against a pretty decent Clayton squad, beat them 2-0. So congrats to the Tigers. They were champions of their own Wood Bat tournament, so big-time accomplishment for them. Meanwhile, up north in St. Louis, yours truly took the drive up there alongside a friend of the program, Landon Watkins. We called the game, the doubleheader. Jackson was playing SLU, the Junior Billikens, a top 10 matchup. Jackson, even after going, 2-2, or they went 3-2 maybe, in a tournament up in Columbia. I mean, they beat 2 state-ranked teams given, but even after losing a couple games the week before, they stayed at number 2 in the state in Class 6. The SLU team, who Jackson had beat earlier in the year by 1 up here at SLU, had dropped down to 10 after some losses, but it did not go the Indians' way. Jackson gets swept in the doubleheader. They lose both ball games. The first one, and it was weirdly they mirrored each other. So first game, SLU wins 6-3, but it was 3-3 going into the bottom of the 6th inning. SLU came up. They scored 3 runs. Jackson gets shut out, obviously, in the top of the 7th. SLU wins by 3. Brutal, right? Really, competitive, lower scoring ball game, I think. So both teams scored 2 runs in the first inning. Jackson got the benefit of an error out in the outfield by the Junior Bills, and then got a big hit, scored a couple of runs. SLU, though, immediately answers. Jackson pitching kind of struggled with control. I can talk about it a little bit more intimately because I was right there, saw the whole thing, so I can get a little bit more in depth than I usually do. I think about most of these games. I'll skim through. I'll watch some of them, but I'm not locked in like I was obviously calling the game. But throughout the weekend, I mean, it just felt like the pitching staff, for the most part, had trouble hitting the strike zone, especially early in ball games, and that was kind of what got them. That's what gave up those 2 runs. A lot of walks, if I remember. I think the bases got loaded via walks, if I remember right, or hit by pitch, something like that. So it was tough. I mean, overall, though, not a bad day at the office for the Indians there in that one, but just unable to close it out. SLU coming up clutch, and then what do? Game 2. We go into the bottom of the 6th inning. We're tied. 2 runs apiece. SLU scores 5 in the bottom of the 6th. So it was brutal. It was just so frustrating. We're having these super competitive pitchers duels. It's going through the middle part of the ball game. We're coming into the very end. Jackson's trying to close it out. Go ahead late. They don't, and then SLU comes down the bottom of the 6th. Putting up 5 runs, man, just brutal. Broke a 2-2 tie. Jackson added a couple runs there in the top of the 7th to make it kind of interesting. If I remember, they had, I think, technically the tying runs on base, but they had the Junior Bills maybe got a little cocky. They went up 7-2, like I said. They put in a kid who had like a 7 ERA to close out the game. Just maybe try to get him some work, get the confidence back maybe a little bit. They thought Jackson was just hot and tired and ready to go home. I was hot and tired and ready to go home, but the players were not. They kept digging. They got on base. They got a lot of hits. They got a couple runs across, but could not pull off the 5-run comeback in the last inning. So Jackson goes up. They lose game 1 by 3, game 2 by 3. They give up 8 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. I mean, they gave up 13 runs total, and 8 of those 13 were in the bottom of the 6th innings in the 2 games combined. So it was brutal. It was tough. Different guys played well. And Jackson didn't let SLU's best player, kid Cole Chambers, going to Oklahoma. He's only a junior. He's already committed to Oklahoma. Didn't let him beat them. He walked a ton. Now, they really, really pitched around him. And he struck out 3 times combined in the 2 games. He had 1 hit the entire day. Like I said, they walked him, though, I think 3 or 4 times. So, he got on base, but, the Indians did not let him beat them, but it's just other guys for him stepping up. Their pitcher in Game 2 was lights out. He's also their leadoff hitter. He had a really, really good day hitting and getting on base, things like that. And, yeah, it was just tough. MVP of the ball game, Caleb DeLoach. I have called 2 baseball games. I gave myself irreparable skin damage via the sun because, as my wife would tell you, I am an idiot and forgot sunscreen. So, whoops. Next time, now we know. Now we know for the future. We'll get better. We learn. We get better. Like hopefully the Jackson baseball team does. So we'll move on from baseball. Let's talk about golf. We had a couple of big showings here by local teams. So we had the Jackson Invitational way back last Monday, and Jackson won. There's, I think, 15 schools there, and the Indians come out in first place. Everybody locally was involved. Saxony, Notre Dame, Cape, Jackson were all there. Jackson wins the team title. I think they shot 299 as a team. I didn't write that down, but I think that's what it was. Jimmy Williams comes in tied for second. He shoots a 70. Sam Crowley tied for fifth, shoots 75. And then tied at 10th place were both Caden Shaw and Weston Stroud for Jackson. They both shot a 77. Then a couple days later, Notre Dame goes up to Festus for the St. Pius Invitational, and they win the small school team title. They shot a 328 as a team. And Eli Schaefer, shout out to him, gets medalist honors. He shoots a 76. Tate Shively also finishes top 10, number 7 overall with a 79. The rest of the scoring was Max LeGrand shot an 85, Weston Edwards an 88, and Gary McMullen an 89. So shout out to Notre Dame and Jackson, both winning a couple tournaments. So big time stuff out of those guys. In girls soccer, this past week, Cape Central were right there, man. They're trying to pick up a win. It's been a tough year, I know, for the girls over at Cape Central. They lose in overtime to Farmington 2-1. Saxony also maybe having a little bit of a tough year right now. They're playing some tough teams. Things aren't going their way. They lose 5-0 against Poplar Bluff. The following day, Wednesday, had a big-time district battle here. The Jackson Indians went on the road to Oakville. Oakville, really good team. Oakville, one of the better girls soccer teams right now in the St. Louis metro area. They come up with a 1-0 win in that ball game, so that was huge. The 1 goal by Tinsley Murley, another only, I believe, a freshman. So this Jackson team, they have really, really good senior leadership. I think I talked about that in the last show. The Cluns and Larsons and Dawes and Stelling, etc. They have good senior leadership, but these young girls were really, really showing out this year. They're playing really, really well. I mean, I think Adeline Abernathy, who's a freshman as well, probably leads the team in goals. I haven't tallied them up this year, but she probably leads the team in goals. So big win, big district win for the Indians, help out the district seeding. And then they turn around, play the very next day at home. It does not go so well. So I mentioned it as well in the last show. They're playing Corhay Zoo. Corhay Zoo at time of the game was number 1 in the state of Missouri. They were number 5 in the United States of America. The whole country. They were the 5th best girls soccer team. All right. They have one young lady I talked about in the last episode, Maddie DiMaria, is maybe the best girls soccer player in the country, regardless of age. She is the number 1 player in the class of 2027. She's already committed to North Carolina. And yeah, they're a different kind of animal. So
I didn't expect it to go well. Last year, it was 5-0. Somebody asked me, Caleb, what do you think? How do you think it's going to be? I said, probably going to be about the same. Hopefully Jackson is able to get a goal back there. Deficit was the exact same. Jackson, however, did give up 7 goals. It was kind of spread out. I think the Di Maria girl had a hat trick, if I remember. Had a couple of assists, I know. Yeah. Sounds right. I think she had a hat trick, had a couple of assists. So, yeah, she's a real deal. Jason Abernathy told me after the game, he said she's the best girl that he's ever seen, the best soccer player he's ever seen that's not a professional. And I mean, that was kind of the expectation. I mean, she's the best player in the country. She won Gatorade Player of the Year as a freshman. She's back-to-back Missouri Player of the Year. She's going to probably be back-to-back Missouri Player of the Year. Unbelievable athlete. And just, I went back, I watched, and it's just, everything just comes so easy. A lot of times I watch high school soccer, boys or girls, and it feels like sometimes it's the beautiful game that you're looking for. But a lot of times it's just like, oh, wow, look, they have an opportunity. Oh, they took advantage. They scored. Good job. Wow. It's just like, it feels like it's almost an accident sometimes whenever play works out in your way. Like a lot of these games, like I've talked about, Jackson is, especially competition around here, they really just overwhelm them. They have possession like 85, 90% of the game, and they just keep getting shots on goal. But yeah, a lot of times it can be kind of funky, like you're just sending long balls down the field. Girls are winning foot races, things like that. For the Score Zoo team, for the Di Maria girl, I mean, everything just felt easy. It felt like a video game. It's just like, if I just click the button, the ball is going to go directly to my teammate, and all the shots are just going to be in the perfect spot. She's special, and but okay, it's enough glazing the opponents. Jackson did score 2 goals. Like I said, Bryn Banderman, Rudy Klund each got a goal, so shout out to them. Bryn Banderman, that's another, only a 9th grader. Unbelievable, this 9th grade class for Jackson. So, also that same day, another local team got blown out, unfortunately. Saxony did get 8-0'd against St. Pius X. And then on Friday, Cape Central, once again, just a hair short. They lose to Hillsborough 2-0. And then Notre Dame has a long weekend. They do something that you don't see a lot of in soccer, which is they played a doubleheader. They played 2 games in a day. They're really, really close together, if memory serves. They played Carl Junction. They got the win there, 2-0. They did lose to Hickman. Hickman, much bigger school, I think Class 4. They lose to Hickman 3-1. Then they bounce back. They play Saturday. They take on Webb City, so a really, really, really long weekend out west for the girls. They do drop that one as well, 2-0 to Webb City. In boys tennis, another local rivalry, a couple of them, this past Monday, April 20th. Jackson takes on Notre Dame. The Indians win the team total 6-3 over the Bulldogs. And then Poplar Bluff knocks off Cape Central 7-2. So a couple of big-time rivalries there. I mean, Cape, Jackson, Notre Dame, Poplar Bluff, far and away the best 4 in the SEMO Conference. And this year, it's Jackson alone at the top. They have taken on all comers in the SEMO Conference. They beat Notre Dame 6-3. They beat Bluff 6-3. They beat Cape Central. I think they shut out Dexter and Sykeston. So heck of a year. They won the SEMO Conference team title. I believe it was a Jackson duo that got first in doubles as well. I know Owen Blattle. So shout out Owen Blattle. Signed to play tennis at the next level. He won the individual there, but yeah, Jackson's rolling. And speaking of that, they take on Windsor the very next day. They shut them out 9-0, win every match. On Wednesday, Cape Central takes on Melville, the Panthers, as a team, win that one 6-3. And then Poplar Bluff kind of seals the final standings in the SEMO Conference, and they knock off Notre Dame 6-3. And then Friday, Cape Central hosted a doubles tournament. I don't know all the results. I only saw one post about it. It's from Jackson High School Athletics page, and they said they won. They won the Cape Doubles tournament. So the strong season really continues for the Indians. Not surprising, considering their doubles teams got, I believe, first and fourth at the SEMO Conference Tournament. So not too big of a surprise there for me. Let's jump into some track and field. Not a ton to talk about track and field wise. There were a few different meets going on. First, I want to talk about all the way back last Monday. Saxony went over to Scott City to run. I mean, a lot of people won different races or events, things like that. As far as standout performances, there were a few. I mean, they let Maxim Mayhew just do a million events. I think he won the 100. I don't think he ran the 400. He won the 800. I think it was the first 800 he'd ever run. He threw a javelin. It's very funny. So shout to him. He ran really well. I think he ran the fastest time in school history in the 100 meters. So shout to him. But for Saxony also, Coach O.J. Turner's son, Otis Turner III, he performed well. He won the 110 and the 300 hurdles. He had a PR in both as well. So really rounding into form. Young kid. I think only a freshman. So he looks well. He looks really good in the hurdles. Nashawn Davis looked really good in the hurdles. I think he ran his first 300 hurdle this week as well. So he looked good. Yeah, they got some strong performers over there. Cadence Turner has been running really well in the hurdles recently as well. So their track team's looking pretty solid right now as we get closer to the postseason. They have a chance to, maybe send some kids up through the ranks, maybe get a couple into the state meet potentially. So that'd be cool. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on the Crusaders. On Friday, we had Jackson and Notre Dame up in Festus at the Tigertown Invite. I need to see. I don't know why Festus keeps hosting big events. It's not special. Nothing special over there. Like track is just, it's around the football field. The stadium's not super nice. Yeah, the stadium's okay. It's one-sided though, which I think is dumb. I'm a hater, but Tigertown Invite up at Festus, 100 meters. A couple of Notre Dame kids ran really, really well. That was Hudson Dennis. He came in first. He ran 11:05, kind of just solidifying that 11:0 time he's run now a couple of times. I mean, if he breaks into, if he goes sub 11 finally, it's going to be dangerous. He's going to be making noise once we get into the postseason. And then in sixth place, Dylan Newman ran 11.15. So Hudson Dennis running 1/10 of a second faster than Dylan Newman came 5 places higher than him. So shows you how bang this meet was. That was a PR to 11:15 for Dylan Newman. So that Notre Dame 4x1 team looks really, really strong. So they have some potential, I think, to advance to the postseason as well. And then speaking of Hudson, he also won the 200, and this was a PR for him. He ran 22:23, which was also the number 2 time in school history in the 200 meters. So shout out to Hudson, running really well. I talk about it a lot, man. The kid's a freak athlete. He could be a football player. He'd be a beast. He's a great basketball player. He didn't play. He's a great swimmer, unbelievable swimmer, state champion swimmer, and he's going to be around when it comes to the state track meet, I think. And then in the 400, Nicholas Dial, he ran the 4th fastest time in school history, a PR 51:55. So pretty cool. For Jackson, Aiden Niedbalski, he ran, I believe it was a PR in the 800. He goes sub 2, runs 1:59.74. That was good for 5th place. In the 1600, we had a couple of Aidens go 1-2. Aiden Morris of Notre Dame, he runs a season best 4:22 to get first. Aiden Niedbalski of Jackson gets second, and also a season best 4:29. On the boys' side, only other real notable finish, in my opinion, was Gavin Shin from Jackson. He got first and threw a season's best in the shot put, 51 feet 3 inches. It's a nice throw out of Gavin. On the girls' side, a lot of Bulldogs performed well. In the 100 hurdles, Maria Sire ran a PR 16:05. She got third. In the 300 hurdles, Grayson Maurer got third. She also ran a PR. It was 48:34. In the pole vault, shout out to Amelia Fox of Jackson. Last year, she jumped 11.7 in pole vault. That was 5th That was at the state meet. That was her PR previously. Gave her 5th in the state meet. Now she breaks that PR by 5 inches and jumps 12 feet even, wins her first place, and really stamps her as a contender, I would say, at the state level. So congrats to her. I'll mention in a little bit, we have another really big pole vault showing also up in St. Louis, though, another local team. In the jumps, we had some nice showings. Claire Fouch jumping really well right now. She sets a PR in the long jump, 17 feet, 8.25 inch. Is a PR. It's also number 2 in school history behind somebody named Riley Berger, who's the GOAT of jumping far at Notre Dame. With Louisville, no big deal. Claire Fouch also won the triple jump up at Festus, and then Vita Claire Galati, she goes 17.4, which is a PR for her, and number 3 all-time in school history. So they just jumped to number 2 and 3 times, Fouch and Galati, at the same meet. So shout out to them. Big-time stuff. St. Louis, or up in St. Louis, the next day over at Kirkwood, Cape Central was up at the Dale Collier Invitational. Some people placed pretty well. I mean, as far as numbers go, Taraji Riley got first in the 100. She ran 11.82, which is insane, but also just become so common now that it's almost not even notable. But shout out to Taraji. She's one of the best. Notable for me was a couple of boys. Isaiah Husky, he gets first in the discus. I believe he also won the shot put. But he got first in the discus through a PR, 166 feet, 3 inches. Big time throw from him in the discus. Not his primary event, which is the shot put, but kind of showing that he can be a state contender there in the discus as well. And then over into pole vault, I alluded to it. Kent Sheridan gets first. Obviously, I think he's gotten first in every single meet he's participated in this season. But he gets first place with a jump or a vault of 16 feet, setting a new PR for him. It's been a number he's been trying to reach for a while. He's been kind of capped a little bit below that. He jumps 16 feet, new PR, ties him for first in the entire state. Him and one other guy both jumped 16 feet even this season. And it puts him at number 1 in Class 4. So he's right back where he needs to be, man. He is a true contender for that state meet. So I'm very excited for him. His dad's coach over there, so shout out to them. And yeah, I mean, balling. Completely unsurprising. But he's performing really well. And the final sport to talk about, boys volleyball. We had a few contests. Saxony shut out St. Pius 3-0. And then Notre Dame did the same to Westminster 3-0. And then we had a back-to-back kind of everybody takes their turn at Lutheran South type situation over at Notre Dame. Lutheran South took on Notre Dame and Saxony. And unfortunately, Lutheran South got the better of both teams. They shut out Saxony 3-0, swept them. Had a classic against Notre Dame, but Notre Dame unfortunately unable to bring it home. They dropped that one 3-2. Like I said, tough match. Shout out to, but Lutheran South. I feel like I talked about it last week. Somebody played Lutheran South already. Lutheran South is really, really good. They're 24-3-1 now after these wins. The scoring here, Lutheran South won the first set 27-25. Notre Dame ties it back up 25-19. And then Lutheran South goes back up. They went 25-19, set 3. Notre Dame sends it to a 5th set, dramatically 26-24. But unfortunately, the Lancers win 15-8 in the 5th and final set. I mean, it's another no moral victory type situation. This is the 6th straight loss to Lutheran South that Notre Dame has had, but you push them to 5. I mean, this is a really, really good Lutheran South squad. You look at their schedule, like I said, they're 24-3. They lost 2-1 decision in a tournament to Francis House Central, who's very good as well. They split with O'Fallon. They dropped 0-2 contest to Vianney. They lost in the rematch to O'Fallon 3-1. So, I mean, they are a big dog when it comes to the St. Louis area. So no shame in dropping that one to them. So I believe that gets us to this week, what all we have coming on. Around the area, obviously we're going to be affected here early in the week. As you know, I'm recording on Monday, so I don't know how things are going to turn out and what the weather's going to be like. I'm recording hopefully before the storms knock me out here. So early week I won't mention, or Monday stuff I won't really mention, but we have a lot going on Monday. It's probably all going to get canceled and rescheduled, but we'll get there when we get there. So we're going to start with baseball. Tuesday, Jackson is at Kennett. Long drive down there to Kennett. I've made it to call a basketball game before. Going to make it again next year, presumably. So long way down there, but Jackson should be the favorite in that one. They have a chance to stay undefeated in the SEMO Conference, but Kennett on their home field, going to be tough to beat. Proud program. They've had a lot of success. One of their all-time greats is playing at Arkansas right now, a top 25 team in the country. So, they really love baseball down there. So you can't just show up expecting to win based on the names on the front of the jersey. Then Wednesday, we have a busy day. Saxony will be hosting St. Pius, so everybody gets a chance to beat St. Pius. And then Cape Central will be hosting Hillsborough as well on Wednesday, and Notre Dame will be hosting Charleston. So really, really busy slate here in Cape Jackson area. There's a lot of baseball you can find anywhere. Thursday, Jackson will be back at home. They're hosting Webster Groves quickly before we get to the conference tournament. And then Saxony will be at Advance the 30th, and then they will be at New Athens, Illinois for a doubleheader on Saturday. And once again, like I said, I do not have the SEMO Conference Tournament with me right now. We will be keeping an eye out on it. I will definitely share it whenever the information comes available on social media, Exit 99 Sports, wherever, X, Facebook, Instagram, etc. I'll share that information, but until then, I will just kind of tell you that the conference tournament is happening the 1st to the 4th. So we'll see how it shakes out. Right now, it should be, like I said, Jackson 1. We're TBD. I mean, as you know, Poplar Bluff and Notre Dame didn't play Monday because of the weather. They're going to try to play it on Tuesday at 4:30 p.m., I just read. So we'll see what happens as far as that shakes out. But Jackson will be 1, Cape or Bluff will be 2, 3, Notre Dame Sykeston will be 4, 5, then Dexter, Kelly, Kennett bring up the rear there. So it should be good. It should be a fun tournament. It's always very, very competitive regardless of the seeds, things like that. Teams are always going to go hard for bragging rights. That's kind of what I expect. That's how I expect it to go, and it should be fun. Go out, go watch some baseball over at Kappa Hall. I believe it's going to be there again. So go check it out. It's going to be a great time in boys baseball. That wraps up baseball for me. Also, fun fact, Jackson is going to be playing O'Fallon, Illinois, who's really good to my knowledge. In the middle of the conference tournament, on the day off on Sunday, they're going to be playing at Busch Stadium against O'Fallon, Illinois. Is that right? Busch Stadium? Saturday or Sunday, the 3rd, they are going to be playing a baseball game against a really good team in O'Fallon. So we'll see what effect that has on the tournament. So moving to girls soccer. A lot of games going to be getting rescheduled due to the rain Monday. I'll keep you up to date on that information on social media. But we'll skip to Wednesday. Cape Central is at North County. Should be a tough ball game. Jackson then, speaking of tough games for the Tigers, Jackson will be traveling to Cape Central, taking on Cape over at their home field, the turf field over there. We'll see what all the weather is by then. Hopefully it's clear and hopefully it's not too hot because it can get a little toasty over there in the bleachers and on the turf field. So we'll see how that goes. And then also Thursday, Notre Dame is hosting Poplar Bluff. Should be a good one. Poplar Bluff, tough. So it'd be a good SEMO Conference matchup. Then Friday, last game of the week, girls soccer, Jackson goes on the road to Northwest. So be on the lookout for that. Jackson and Northwest. I believe, I'm going to filibuster and keep talking. I believe They are in the same district as well, but I will keep talking and clicking on the laptop to find that information. No, they are not. Just kidding. So, Jackson will be taking on Northwest at Northwest out there in the trees. So, good luck to Jackson. In track and field, got a few meets coming up this week. Tuesday, weather pending, obviously. Track always up and down, outdoor-wise. They'll be hosting a home meet over at Saxony, the Larry Clear Last Chance Open, named after a longtime official. Shout out to him. Shout out to Saxony. Best of luck. Everybody go perform at a high level. It's always fun to get to run at your home track, excuse me. It's always, if you feel comfortable, you feel fast. So I hope they all perform really well. On Wednesday, Notre Dame will be up at the St. Dominic Invitational up there in Chesterfield? I don't know. Somewhere. Up in St. Dominic High School. So best of luck to the Bulldogs. And then finally on Friday, you'll get Cape, Jackson, Notre Dame, and Saxony, and about 30 other teams will all converge at Cape Central to take part in the SEMO Conference Meet. Should be a really, really fun day of track and field. I'm not sure yet, what the entries are going to look like. It hasn't been posted. I don't know who all is going to be running, but right now, we have some really, really, really top-end talent going to be competing in this meet. I know off the top of my head, you think about Jackson, you got the Reagan brothers, all three of them now running together in a 4x2 the other day. Jackson, I skipped over that. Jackson set a school record in the 4x2 with all three Reagans running together. So that's probably not surprising, but that did happen. You've got the Reagan brothers from Jackson competing well. Amelia Fox in the pole vault is really running well. There's vaulting well. Brooklyn Williams competing in the jumps. Looks really good right now. Thinking on the boys' side, let me go through here. Gage Parker, Memphis Maddox are both running well in the hurdles, especially the 300 hurdles. They got a couple of kids long distance-wise. I mentioned Aiden Nabalski. A couple others are looking pretty good in distance races. In the girls' side for Jackson, Hallie King is running pretty well from 4 to 3,200 meters. Beckley Getz running well, 1, 2, 4. So Jackson has some people that can really compete there. Cape Central, when you look at the sprints, they're going to be really, really tough. Taraji Riley is the best in the conference in the 100. I'll be curious to see if she gets a 200 in. I want to see what she looks like in the 2. They have some young guns that do a little bit of everything. Caden Kern, Scarlett Whitvet. I mentioned Kent Sheridan on the boys' side is by far the favorite in the pole vault. Brayon Clemens, Marshawn Pierce, a lot of these guys, really, really good sprinters. Elijah Cheek has looked good in the 4 and 8. Notre Dame, like I mentioned, Hudson Dennis, Newman, all these guys sprinting. Trenton Powell versus Patrick Slack from Poplar Bluff in the 110 hurdles and the 300 hurdles, hopefully, will be really, really good. Cinema there. Those two guys are studs. Nashawn Davis trying to surprise the people from Saxony there as well. It's going to be big time. All the girls who are jumping incredibly well from Notre Dame right now. Grayson Maurer, who's also a really good hurdler. Maria Sire at hurdles. Claire Fouch jumping. Iwu Chukwu jumping. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a really, really fun meet. Taraji Riley's a really good long jumper, I believe. So it's going to be a really, really high-end meet. And you've got others, a couple girls from New Madrid are stud sprinters and jumpers. Carly Ann Kosu from Chaffee is good at everything. So it should be fun. It should be a lot of fun. And then, there's going to be a lot of boys from like Poplar Bluff who are good 1, 2, 4. They're really, really good in the sprint. So, yeah, it should be a really, really good meet. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think, like I said, it's going to be over at Cape Central. So, it should be fun, man. It should be a good day. Hopefully, the weather stays nice, like I said. Obviously, it's a good setup over there. They have a lot of seating, so you can see well. It'll be a little bit spread out, the jumps, obviously the track here, the throws are going to be outside the stadium, obviously. So, yeah, it's a good venue. It's a fun venue to watch track in. I've gone there a couple times. So, anyway, go check it out. I implore you. There's a lot of kids who are doing unbelievable stuff. I mean, I'm not going to go through it all right now. I might do it at the end of the season. I mean, so many kids this year have stamped their name in as like the number 1 all time in school history, number 2, number 3, number 4. There are a ton of kids that are, I mean, Barrett Reagan himself is number 1 in the state in the 100, number 2 in the state in the 200, number 1 in the state in the 400. And then Blaine Reagan, his brother, is a split second behind him in all those races. So it's going to be a good meet. Kid from Kelly, Evan Schoaf, has run 10.6 in the 100 a few times this year. 21.5, I think, in the 2. So, I mean, there's going to be competitors, man. There's going to be really, really, really impressive athletes all over the track. I'll get off of it now, though. But go check it out, man. It's a lot of fun. So, moving on. Boys golf. Later in the week, we got a tournament over at Cape Country Club. I know Notre Dame and Cape will be there competing. I'm not sure who else, but Saxony then will also be up at Perryville on Thursday. So some local golf to go check out here in the city. Boys tennis, we're wrapping it up. We're wrapping it up. We're almost done here with boys tennis. We got a couple of early week matchups that are going to get delayed because of the weather. Tuesday, Jackson is at Farmington. Cape Central will be hosting Sykeston as well on Tuesday. Both should be wins for our local squads. Hopefully, Farmington can be tough, though. And then speaking of Farmington and Jackson, Wednesday, Farmington's hosting the Farmington Invitational, and Cape and Jackson will be up there at that. And then we're here. Friday, May 1st, you got the Class 2 District Individual Tournament. Cape and Notre Dame will both be competing at that. So we're there already, man. Tennis. We are in the postseason at the end of this week in tennis. Like I said, Class 2 District 1 Invitational Tournament will be Friday. It will be at Notre Dame, so go check it out. Class 2 District 1 will be at Notre Dame. Anything else? Class 3, we don't know destination yet. Class 2, we do. We have the team tournament? No, we don't know that yet. We don't have anything on Misha's website. Thank you for being so helpful. But, over at Notre Dame, the first, we've got Cape and Notre Dame competing to advance to the state tournament. So that'll be huge. Go check it out. Best of luck, obviously. There's going to be a lot of kids season ending right there. So, congrats to the seniors and congrats to everybody who played well. I mean, Cape and Notre Dame, 2 really, really good programs pretty consistently. They stay pretty competitive. So congrats to both them. Really good seasons. I mean, right now, Notre Dame sits at 7-2. Cape, a lot more results in than Notre Dame has on the Misha website. Cape sits at 8-7. So congrats. But best of luck to everybody. Owen Blattle, going to be a tough one there in the individuals. So best of luck to him. Move on. Boys volleyball, the last sport to talk about. Tuesday, Notre Dame is at Lutheran St. Charles, and then Thursday, Saxony takes a crack at Lutheran St. Charles as well. That is a long drive up there. Jackson has played there in basketball for me when I called the game, and I didn't go. Cody went, so I got out of that long drive. But that's ways up there. So best of luck, long drive for both teams. Hope they recover from the long haul and perform well whenever they get up there. So best of luck to all of them, and best of luck to all the athletes here. I talk about it a lot. I say it every show, but go see it. Go watch these kids compete. Go see what they're doing. Go support them. Go show the coaches that you appreciate all the hard work they put in as well, along with the athletes. So it's been a really, really fun season. Like I said, we're winding down. We're getting into May, so there's not a lot of time left. We got to go appreciate it while we can. Go see these athletes perform. Go see the teams. Go see the individuals, whatever it might be. And, go enjoy it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a really, really good end to the season. I think we have a lot of kids, whether it's team or individuals, that can make some noise here in the postseason. So it should be worth checking out. A couple of end-of-show shout-outs. else? A couple of individuals doing some things. Saw Barrett Reagan of Jackson. I mentioned him a minute ago. He is signed with SEMO officially to run track and field there next year. So congrats to Barrett. It's going to be cool. It's going to be right down the road and go watch him run still while he's a SEMO Red Hawk. Should be a lot of fun. I mean, look, it's hard not to kind of compare. It's one of those sports that is apples to apples. It's not like you can just look at how like the track is the same distance as it is in high school as it is in college. 100 meters is still 100 meters, no matter where you're running it at. I mean, you look at times. His times right now would put him near or at the very top of SEMO's roster. It would put him in a very, very competitive spot in pretty much every race in the OVC championships outdoors last season. That's all you have to go off of, obviously. We haven't got to the conference championships yet in college this year for outdoors, but I was saying it was hard for me not to look ahead and kind of see where he stacks up, and he's going to step on the campus and be one of the very, very best day one. So best of luck to Barrett. Has a lot to go still, though, in high school. He's got a couple of state championships he's got to try to win, so don't look too far ahead. Another Indian, Molly Metzger, girl wrestler. She is signed with Missouri Baptist, so congrats to their families. And then at the college level, Cameron Williams, a kid I talk about a lot. I think the last episode I talked about how he was in the portal. He had different suitors. I know, selfishly, I'm sure there was a lot of people in this area that would have wanted him to come home, go play for the SEMO Redhawks, but instead he will be taking his talents to the MAC, the Mid-America Conference, I think. And he will be playing at Kent State next season. So really, really cool opportunity for him playing at a, mid-major Division I level. Kent State had a good year this past year. The team, though, will be replacing a lot. So that's where Cameron Williams steps in. You look at the schedule. They went 24-10 last season. They went 14-4 in conference. Coach Rob Senderhoff at the helm has been performing well. They finished third in the MAC, but as I said, you look at the roster. Obviously, they have some guys transfer out, but at the very top, you've got 6'8", 215 front court player who's a stud, Delreco Gillespie. He's transferring. He averaged 17 and 11. He's gone. You've got Rob Whaley, 6'7", 260, another front court guy. He's gone. You got a guard that's leaving there, 6'5" guard moving on. So, I mean, the top three scores from last season are gone. Yeah, hey, does that mean they might take a step back? I don't know. But what it does mean is Cameron Williams going to have a really, really big opportunity to perform at a high level for this team, in my opinion. So that's what I'm hoping for, that's what I'm rooting for. And it's going to be cool, man. I mean, another year, he's playing at the D1 level. All of his games are going to be televised in some capacity, so you can watch him play, look up the schedule for this next year whenever it comes out. Obviously, we're a long ways away from basketball season, but check out the schedule when it comes out and hit him up, man. ESPN Plus, go watch some of the games. Check out the schedule. If he's around the area, go watch a ball game. It'd be really, really cool to see. So shout out to Cam, man. Good kid, and congrats to him joining a really, really good MAC team. And then finally, we talked about the high school level. We talked about kids at the college level. Now we get to talk about a kid who's moving on to the professional level, and that is former Jackson Indian left tackle back then, Connor Tollison. He was on the state championship team for the Indians, their first state championship in school history. He was on a team that went to the state title and lost. He spent 4 years at Mizzou, 4 or 5 years at Mizzou. He goes undrafted. Unfortunately, in the draft, he signs a rookie minicamp deal with the 49ers. And so we wish him the best. Played center in college. Sustained a pretty bad injury. Blew out his knee. When was that? Junior year, I believe. So, that, not here to be depressing or anything, but it did affect the trajectory of what he was on. I mean, he was trending really, really well. Obviously, a knee injury to a big guy is tough to come back from, but hopefully he's healed up 100%, and hopefully he makes the team over there for the 49ers or somewhere. Anywhere is an option, and I'd be happy with him to land anywhere.
I wish him best of luck, if he is anywhere in the world. I mean, the 49ers, when it comes to like offensive lines and what they do, what they teach, the way they run the ball, it would be really, really cool if he could catch on over there. They have a legend on the left side, Trent Williams. So, yeah, best of luck, man. Best of luck to him. It's so cool. I mean, I don't know, off the top of my head, I don't even remember the last person from Southeast Missouri to be in his position of just making a rookie minicamp roster. So it's really, really cool. I mean, as far as Jackson kids go, I think he's probably the first. I don't know, just going off the dome there, but he's probably the first to ever do it. So congrats to Connor. Oh, Al Young. Al Young, I think, signed a rookie minicamp deal with the Giants back in the day, a few years ago. Anyway, yeah, shout out to Connor. I mean, good kid. He was always happy-go-lucky over there on the sidelines. My dad spends a lot of times on the sidelines taking pictures, things like that. Never had anything bad to say about the kid. So he was somebody who stepped up as a freshman, got thrust into a role he maybe wasn't physically ready for, got stuck in at left tackle on a Jackson team as a freshman and performed well, and then got better, and then got so much better and even better, and was just an absolute monster in Southeast Missouri. I think I didn't do this research and look it up to be sure, but I believe he won the Carr Trophy as the best player in Southeast Missouri. So, I mean, doing that as a left tackle it's special. So, shout out to him. That's very, very cool to see, and wish him nothing but the best. It'd be super cool if he gets to stick around on that roster. And then quickly, something else that just came to my attention. Braden Harris, Jackson's left tackle coming up this upcoming season, he has cut his college list to a top 3. It is the Arkansas Razorbacks, the Missouri Tigers, and the Kansas State Wildcats. Now, I have a preference for the people watching on video. You get to see what the preference is. I have a preference of where he goes. That'd be great. I have a preference where he doesn't go also, but we're not going to talk about it because he probably will go there. But best of luck to that young man. Look, I don't care. I don't actually care. Obviously, all the kids from around here, I want them to go wherever is best fit for them. Be a Razorback. But it's really, really cool, man. Seeing a kid from this area have big-time D1 opportunities is super, super cool. So best of luck to Braden. Make whatever choice is best for you, whatever puts you in the best spot, personally, educationally, financially, spiritually, whatever's important. Go be the best you. So best of luck, young man, and thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it as always. Like I always say, feel free to reach out if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything I got wrong, anything I should elaborate on, anything like that. Hit me up. If your son, daughter, niece, nephew, grandson, whatever, boyfriend, girlfriend, are performing well in a sport, tell me about it. I'll talk about them. Give me stats. You got stats? Anybody got stats? Parents, coaches, anybody? Hit me up. For anything I didn't talk about, didn't get into depth with, I'll do it if you want me to. I'm always free. I'm easily influenced. So I appreciate it as always. Like I said, I always do it. Always do this, and I enjoy doing this because it gets more attention on the people that deserve it, the coaches, the players, things like that. So that's what it's all about, man. So thank you guys as always. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.